Some statement could be added that we want to focus on reiterating the statement that my brother made, that we are about excellence in teaching, that we want to be student-centered. This is what we're all about, and that we're troubled by the lack of adequate faculty representation, that we're troubled by the way the process has taken place, and that one thing, there are organizations where autocratic decision-making works, like the Marines or the Army.
Right.
But, and maybe hospitals or operating rooms.
Well, it's not working there.
Or BP.
It's not working for them.
However, and a lot of the research on organizational theory will tell you that, especially in organizations that are about pretty much research and development, that collaborative decision-making is what works best. Autocratic decision-making tends to be destructive to those organizations. And I would suggest that maybe we can include something like that in this report to get the message up to the upper administration. That's my suggestion. I think this is not the time and the place, and I strongly agree with Mike.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carter. We have one more comment over here. I think the dean wanted to say something, and then we should decide if you want the ad hoc committee to move forward. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Sibylle Wegschwartz from the mathematics department. I'm a lecturer there. I'm in my profession because I like mathematics and I like teaching, and I would like to do my job as best I can. And all that's happening is just immensely disruptive. And I think many people here have already expanded on that. What frustrates me is that this whole organization, this whole group, you know, reacts to a proposal that apparently, that's also been reiterated here already. Well, why are we fixing something that's not broke? What is actually the problem? We are looking for the problem, and is that really the reason for that restructuring proposal? I mean, I'm at this point being frustrated by all this so much that I'm being cynical, and I'm saying, well, restructuring has only one purpose, and that is to disband departments. When you dissolve departments, then you are allowed to dismiss people, and then you can reallocate resources. And this goal will, of course, never be openly stated, but with no other defined reasons for a reorganization, I'm cynical enough to think that that is the true purpose of this whole reorganization proposal.
This administration, from day one, 4 years ago, has been anti-faculty. They've always explicitly or implicitly implied or said that faculty are the problem and not the solution to whatever problem they think exists, even though they've never articulated the problem. This is our last meeting as a body. Arts and Sciences Council may not exist. We may never meet again. So this vote is essential today by those who are here, even though we're not speaking officially. It sends that message that we have had enough.
Okay, Linda invited me to make an opening comment, and I decided that I wouldn't do that, but I think I now want to make a closing comment. And I want to tell you people that your frustrations are known, that you are being heard, that meetings of this kind are good, and for us to hear you is good. But it won't stop there, even though we can't necessarily run back to you and give you some input or feedback each time we hear you express your frustrations. I met with the president and the provost yesterday. I can tell you that in spite of all of the biblical reports that you can get in the Collegian, there has been no decision reached on reorganization. There has been no decision reached on splitting the College of Arts and Sciences. There is only discussion and a plea from the president for your ideas. Believe me, you may not wish to, but you can believe me. This is not a closed issue. He is willing to accept alternate proposals. He is willing to consider any other opinions or proposals that you may wish to take to him. You can take them through the people who worked on the chair's report. I'm sure you can get to him directly. But Bill, if I'm speaking out of turn, please say so. But I know that he would want me to leave with you the message that there is no decision. The College of Arts and Sciences may or may not be split, but anything that is done with the decision that it will be best for the students. It also, in my opinion, has to be best for the faculty. And let me just say one thing. I have said this from various podiums in the 3 years that I will have been here. I will say it every time I get a chance. On a personal note, thanks a bunch to all of you. You do one heck of a job. Thank you.
Okay, I think that we have to make a decision about David's proposal, and I have to say that we're not in a formal setting. We didn't, in fact, establish a quorum. So I think that technically speaking, we can't take a vote. But the fact that the vote was proposed, I think already says a lot for the frustration of this faculty in the light of processes regarding restructuring. When we're in a formal setting next time, we can certainly revisit that issue, and I thank you for your...
Next time. If they're moving up this decision to accept one of these plans to the first week in September, then that means the students have been back for a week, and they'll not even know what's going on.
I think at that point, Faculty Senate will already be meeting, and perhaps...
If the decision is made to disband Faculty Senate before then, they want to move it up. Why do they want to move it up? Because
I think that at that point, those actions will be grievable by the union.
You trust a lot more than I do.
David, you know what? I totally share your frustration. But I think we can trust the faculty that even if an administrative vote occurs to disband the college, that the college council, with Linda as leader, would reconvene.
Yes.
Regardless of whether or not there was an administrative mandate to do so. And so I think
and I can certainly give you that as my promise, David, that if that were to happen, I certainly will convene council, whether it is recognized by administration or not. And we will make our voice heard on that issue. I think we do also need to give the president the opportunity to make a decision or not make a decision and act upon his choice. If he chooses to ignore faculty input in this most important decision, that puts a whole new spin on your proposal, I believe. Okay. It's 5 of 12. The students have this room for their meeting, which begins at noon.